As a new year starts, most businesses should be thinking about their plans for the year. Obviously, it's a difficult time at the moment, but resetting is something that I think every business should be doing, certainly annually and at least quarterly. When we look at it from a sporting context, resetting is something that sports teams do much more frequently than that, of course. I'm talking with Carl Rimmer and Kai Horstmann, formerly of the Exeter Chiefs. Kai, from a team perspective, how often did resetting take place when you were playing elite rugby?
Weekly. So your target was match day on the Saturday, and then it was the challenge of resetting as quickly as you can by close of play Monday, really. And I think that's probably the biggest lesson I learned from Rockbacks and the Chiefs is how quickly you need to do that in order to fulfill the art of being consistent and being a consistent team, really, and being able to deliver that following week. Often you can get carried away with a big victory or big loss that then carries over into the following week, into the Tuesday and Wednesday. And if that happens, suddenly your preparation for the following weekend is going to be slightly flawed, and your preparation goes out the window, really.
That's very interesting, yeah. So resetting after every game. Carl, once the game started, tell us about resets within the actual match itself.
Yeah, there's plenty of them. And I think sometimes resetting can be mistaken for changing, changing what you're doing. So thinking, right, that's not working, let's reset, let's find something new. And quite often resetting can just be about a little bit of course correction where you might have veered off. It might have been a ball's gone down, been scored against, missed a tackle, that sort of thing. And it's sometimes just a reset to say, actually, I'm doing the right things, but I didn't quite do that one. So it's about just putting yourself back in that spot and giving yourself the chance to do it right again. And I think that's where, a lot of people can, if they keep their head down and they just keep ploughing on, that one mistake can become 10 or more quite quickly. And you don't have to get pulled up for those on the video on a Monday morning when we're all resetting for the next week. So yeah, it's really important, like you say, to realise that it's not necessarily about stopping everything and saying, right, what am I doing wrong? But more about saying, right, what was I doing right? Let's get back to that. Yeah, absolutely. So if we reflect that back into business, a course is set, but if there's not an ongoing reset, then you could be drifting way off target from where you originally aimed. So we go back to that slightly bigger picture, Kai. So you've talked about resetting after each game. What about during the course of the season? Was there any bigger reset after a series of games, or was it really just at the end of each season, ready for the new season, there was a major reset? Tell us about how that would work.
There's natural breakups in the season with change of competition that probably fall with a natural reset and focus of driving yourself towards the new competition, putting a new focus on it. And that came as a quite timeable moments, really, because often you'd have a change of personnel coming in, resting players, a bit of a rotation. And that reset moment was pretty important, really, to get the whole squad focused into that new tournament coming up.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then in terms of the game again, Carl, I guess every time the ball goes out of play, there's a natural reset, isn't there?
Exactly that. Like you say, there's probably 100 over the course of the game, isn't there? And it's just who utilises them. I suppose if you sat there on that eye in the sky camera and you watch that ball go out, I know we used to get spoken quite a lot about, even when we did something right, about having that exhale, that, you know what I mean? Balls out, right, have a breather, have a mental sort of just, instead of balls out, that's it, right, use that time wisely. And you might see, one team of players just sort of stroll to the next start point, whereas you might see others sort of turn around, start talking to the people they need to talk to, get together as a group, that sort of stuff. And it's when it comes naturally to do that without having to think about it or bark orders that I think you've obviously cracked it, and you've got those players present at every possible minute.
Excellent. So I think the key lessons I'm taking from this is reset frequently, take the natural opportunities both in the long term for resetting, but also more importantly, when there's small opportunities for resetting on an ongoing basis, take those and use those wisely, rather than just take them as a few, take them as a real opportunity just to take stock of where you are and are you going in the right direction. Kai Horstmann, Carl Rimmer, thanks very much.